All right, so let's go now to knight to c6. You've made a few Eric Rosen references already. This is the Stafford Gambit, surprisingly popular, and it's thanks goes to Eric Rosen on YouTube. And I'm calling this move a mistake. And actually, I'm going to do this live for the viewers.
Oh, there it is. Question mark. Um, so, oh, double, okay. Shots fired. All right, so let's look at how to untangle this because we've all seen like the 8 move checkmates and all the cool things that you can really do in this opening. But at the end of the day, they're losing a pawn, and if you know how to untangle it, it's just really good for white. So let's take a look. We're of course going to take the knight. They're going to take back with the d pawn, and we need to start with the move d3. Just solidify the center and get our pieces in the right places in order to shut down all of black's tricks. And there are a substantial amount of tricks.
Yeah. And this is one where you'll want to kind of memorize this line because it is so sharp for black. I think this exact line was actually in one of Eric's videos. I believe he was playing a GM OTB in the video. And I believe the GM played this exact line. And it's one where the engine really likes it. So I think it's a good way to kind of shut down the black attack. So we're recommending bishop to e2. Puts two defenders on the g4 square, queen and bishop, so there's no knight g4 here. The way black plays aggressively is to play h5. And at this point, we have a really key move. So some natural moves here would be kingside castle for one, knight to c3, for example, maybe bishop to g5. But what move are we going to recommend here?
Yep, so our plan is to shut this bishop out. So ideally we want to play d4 and shut the bishop out, but we need to preempt that with c3. So when when black comes in, bring their knights in, we can just push d4 and all the pressure on f2 has kind of gone away. So c3 is a really key move here, and if black doesn't have any tricks, they're just down a pawn with the worst pawn structure, and you can see why Matt annotated this with 2 question marks.
Yeah, I think
So
this c3 move is the key of the whole line, right? We've pretty much shut down all of black's remaining attempts except one. There's knight g4 and queen h4 coming up. That's really the last attempt for black to attack because there's no queen d4. The immediate knight g4 is met by d4, so that bishop is out of the game. It's really hard for black to keep the threats coming after pawn to c3. So let's look at knight to g4, pawn to d4 to meet it, and now queen to h4, the most aggressive move for black. Threatening queen takes f2. And here again, you have to memorize these moves because this is a long tactical sequence. We're recommending g3. What do you think of this move?
yeah, it's an interesting move because on the surface it looks like queen h3 could be a bit of a problem, but we need to defend checkmate, obviously, and g3 is a nice move to go about that. So queen f6 is the main move, and now we have another clever way to stop checkmate here. I'll give you a hint, it's not castles.
It's bishop to f3. And we're going to play h3 next, kicking out the knight. And we're up 4 points here according to Stockfish. So we kind of played the most aggressive moves for black to show you what they can throw at you. But if they play any less aggressively, even though the Stockfish eval might be not so bad for black or not as bad as a 4 point advantage, it'll be easier to play for white. One other line I just wanted to show quickly. If queen h3 here, we have bishop to f1, trapping the queen. Oh no, my queen, but it's not actually a trap. Like the queen is actually just being captured.
It's an authentic "oh no, my queen."
Yeah, that's more of like a Danny Wrench queen drop than a Eric Rosen queen drop.
Botez Gambit. Keep
Yeah,
in mind, the bishop is still hanging here.
right. That's another key point. So that bishop is also causing some problems. All right, so that's Stafford Gambit. We only covered it in one line. So if you're playing someone that you know is going to play the Stafford quite a bit against you, go into that a little bit deeper. Check a few of the different threats for black. Make sure you have them down. But really, if you can remember that key line, a lot of the variations are similar as long as you know kind of the ideas, what black is threatening, and those ideas for white to counter them.